Hello there, and welcome to whatever this is. Today, I wanted to talk about Enneagrams. So, if you have not heard of an Enneagram, I think I'm saying that right. It might be Enneagram, it might be Enneagram. I think it's Enneagram. So, an Enneagram is basically this personality test that somebody came up with that literally explains my entire life. And it's scary, but it's so cool at the same time. Enneagrams go from type 1 to type 9, and then you can have like a wing on your Enneagram. So like I'm a type 2 Enneagram, but I'm a wing 3. So I'm a type 2 wing 3. The different types have different names. So I don't remember all of them, but number 1 is the reformer. Type 2 is the helper. Type 3 is the achiever. I don't remember what type 4 is. I don't remember what type 4 is. Type 5 is the investigator. Type 6 is the loyalist. Type 7 is the enthusiast. Type 8 is, I think, the challenger. And then type 9 is the peacemaker. So all of those obviously mean very different things. But if you take the Enneagram test online, it will match you up to one of the types. And some of the Enneagram tests also match you up with your wing type. I'm going to insert one in the description box that is my favorite because it tells you your wing too. So basically, I'm just going to dive into a little bit of like my Enneagram type and why I've found Enneagrams to be so like helpful and important, at least in the recent moments of my life, I guess. But like I said, I'm a type 2, and so I'm the helper. And so some distinct characteristics of like type 2s would be that they are typically like the mom friend, very reliable. If you ever need them, they're always there. They will go out of their way to help you with things. They care very deeply about making sure that everyone feels safe and loved and secure. And yeah, they just go above and beyond for the people that they love, and they try to make sure that their life is like the purpose of their life is to make other people feel loved and happy. So it's like a good, it's not a bad Enneagram to have. I'm very thankful to be a type 2 who thinks that, the purpose of life is to love other people. I think that's great. I think that's really cool that I'm a type 2. And I definitely see that in myself. It's really cool too because when you take the Enneagram test, some of them will say like common career choices for people of certain Enneagram types. And so for 2s, common career choices are teaching. I think some other ones are like service things. So like running charities or being like a religious leader. Those types of things are normally type 2 people. So recently in my life, I've realized the benefits of understanding and knowing your own Enneagram type as well as the people around you and your friends and family. My friend Christy is an Enneagram 9, which is the peacemaker. And so Enneagram type 9s and 2s, we read this like really long like relationship compatibility thing between 9s and 2s on the Enneagram Institute's website, and it was basically saying how like 9s and 2s are normally like thick as thieves, like super solid friends, but so we were reading some of like the problems that 9s and 2s will have when they're in close relationship with each other, and we were just like reliving our time together that we lived together our first year of college. And it was just so funny because I was like, Christy, like that's exactly what we did. And she was like, oh my gosh, I know, like we're such 9s and 2s. It was just crazy. It's just crazy. And so recently I've realized how like important it is for me to know the weaknesses of being a 2, things that I tend to struggle with when I'm stressed, or things that I tend to do to make myself feel like I am achieving my purpose of being a 2. But I've realized recently that like a lot of my pitfalls of being a 2 are very accurate with what they say my pitfalls should be, based on my personality. So like, for example, obviously, like I said, 2s love to help people, show people that they're loved, stuff like that. The pitfall, though, of being a 2 is when other people don't do that stuff to you, you feel really unhappy. You feel worthless. You feel terrible. So, like, although I love to just give and give and give and like help and be there for other people, as a 2, it's easy for me to feel unloved or unvalued if people aren't doing those things for me. So if someone's, so say I'm friends with someone who's not a 2 and they don't necessarily go above and beyond all the time to like give their time and energy to their friends, to me, that can make me feel like I'm unworthy of being loved like that. I give so much of my time and energy and whatever to other people as a 2 that sometimes I can forget to give that to myself, and I can forget to be kind to myself and to give myself love and care because I spread myself too thin trying to take care of other people. And another thing that's really unhealthy about being a 2 is that whenever I get stressed out, or whenever I feel like someone isn't loving me the way that I would like them to, sometimes it can cause me to be even just more emotionally attached and just even more clingy to that person, which, depending on their Enneagram type, can be really not good for me. If they're a very thought-driven Enneagram type and not a very emotion-driven Enneagram type, that they can like see me being super clingy and me being very attached to them as like, please stop. I don't appreciate that. I don't like this. Get me out. Which is bad for me, but also bad for them. Enneagram 2s are not particularly great at giving people space because they are so like dependent on other people to fulfill themselves. They tend to latch on to other people, and that can be very annoying, depending on what Enneagram type you are. And so like realizing all of these things about myself, I have found to be very important because like, obviously I'm not only going to befriend other 2s in my life, I'm not only going to be in situations where I have to work with or care for people who are my Enneagram type. So if they don't understand who I am based on my personality, and if I don't understand how they are based on their personality, it can be difficult for us to foster relationships with one another. And I have just found it to be so incredibly like self-reflecting, and like just it's so cool to be able to like read this and be like, this is why I am the way that I am. And then just think about ways that you can go about being a healthier you and being a better you. So like for me, obviously, like I said, I'm very attached. I get very clingy. I get very overly emotional about certain things. I become very dependent on the people around me. And something I've learned is that when I'm in friendships with people from other Enneagram types, it is important for me to love them the way that they perceive love, right? So like, obviously, as a 2, all I want to do is like love everyone and make them all feel nice and warm and fuzzy. But if I go about doing that in only the way that I would feel loved, they're not going to receive love in the way that is best for them, right? Obviously, me smothering another 2 in love and affection might make them feel super loved because that's how I feel loved. Does not necessarily mean that someone of a different Enneagram type is going to feel that way if I do that to them. So I just think it's really cool to like know your Enneagram type so that you can like better yourself, but also to know your friends and family so that you're better able to care for them. Because then you'll know like what they appreciate, you'll know what their needs are, things like that. And so I just think it's so cool. I just think Enneagrams are freaking dope, and I think that you should definitely take the test if you haven't already. I will link one in the description below. And if you have taken one, dude, please tell me your Enneagram type because I love to know people's Enneagrams. It makes it so easy as a 2 to try to get to know you and love you the way that you want to be loved, if I know what Enneagram type you are. And then if you do something that makes me upset, I can be like, it's because they're a 4. It's because they're a 5. It's because they're a 7. You know, I hope you enjoyed this quick little intro to Enneagrams that I did not know I was going to film today. But I hope you enjoyed it, and comment what your Enneagram type is, because I want to freaking know, okay? Peace out, Girl Scouts.